Have you ever felt like you're just kind of going through the motions? Well, today we're going to dive into a simple but really powerful idea that could totally change how you look at every single choice you make. We're going to learn to spot the difference between those small, predictable steps and the giant leaps that can completely redefine your life's path.
Okay, you almost certainly remember this one from when you were a kid, right? The story of the thirsty crow. It's a classic fable about being clever, but what if we ask one simple question that just flips the whole lesson on its head?
So the setup is super simple. We've got a thirsty crow and there's a pot of water, but the water level is just too low to drink from. A real classic dilemma.
And the crow's solution? Well, it's methodical, it's predictable. It starts dropping in these little stones, one by one by one, and you see the water level slowly rise. It's that slow, steady, incremental progress. You know, the kind of reliable strategy we're all taught to use.
But here's where it gets interesting. What if there's a shortcut? A tool that could solve the problem in an instant? What if there was a straw just lying right there? That one little question is the key to unlocking a totally different way of thinking about our own challenges.
So, that simple fable gives us our two core ideas. Let's really break down what we mean by straws and stones when we're talking about our own lives.
A stone, well, that's the familiar path. You know the one. Go to school, get a job, get promoted, get married. These are those time-tested, routine steps that give you steady, predictable advantages. It's the safe road, the one that's already paved. A straw, on the other hand, is a complete game changer. It's that moment, that idea, or that opportunity that creates a massive leap forward. It's not about taking the next step. It's about finding a whole new ladder, or better yet, an elevator. It's the event that fundamentally changes your entire direction.
And here you can see them side by side. It really spells it out. The way of the stone is all about those incremental gains on a predefined path. It's safe, it's routine, but the way of the straw, that's where you get the quantum leaps. It's revolutionary, it's unconventional and bold, and here's the kicker. The path isn't predefined. You have to create it.
So, this all sounds great, but how do we actually spot these patterns in our own lives? Well, it turns out there are 6 key elements that tell you whether you're thinking like a stone dropper or searching for a straw.
Okay, think of this table as basically a cheat sheet for your own mindset. Across these 6 areas, you can pretty much diagnose your own thinking. And it's not just the obvious ones like attitude and risk. I mean, look at expenditure. Are you spending on assets and status, the stone path? Or are you investing in new skills and experiences that could become a straw? Or inspiration. Is your world kind of closed off? Or are you actively looking for outside ideas that could spark a breakthrough? It's this whole journey from being stagnant and negative to becoming positive, creative, and confident. Let's make this real with a few examples.
All right, imagine this. You're stranded at a remote train station. The small stone attitude is to blame everyone. The government, the train company, you name it. The big stone attitude is to just passively accept it and wait. But the straw attitude, that's the person who sees the problem not as a roadblock, but as a chance to lead. They start organizing, arranging food and water, and trying to find a solution for everyone.
Now let's talk about risk. Say you want to save a local lake. The big stone approach is to just jump into a protest blindly. All passion, no plan. The crucial difference with the straw approach is that it isn't about avoiding risk, it's about calculating it. It's about understanding the challenges, seeing who you're up against, and then forming a really smart strategic plan.
And this story just perfectly illustrates that last element, making a decision. You've got this entrepreneur who makes incredible momos, and she's facing a huge choice. The stone paths are full of fear and hesitation. But the straw moment, that's when she decides to go all in, confidently risking her own house as collateral because she believes in her vision. That level of decisiveness is what unlocks massive growth.
And, this isn't just some theoretical model. Some of the most impactful people in history became who they were because they recognized and seized their straw moments. I mean, just think about these folks. Ray Kroc didn't invent the hamburger. He saw the straw of a global system in a single restaurant. Colonel Sanders found his straw at age 65. These are people who looked at the obvious stone path right in front of them and said, nah, there's a better way.
Let's zoom in on one absolutely incredible example, Singapore's first Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew. His straw moment didn't happen in a stuffy government office. It happened when he stepped away from it all, went to Harvard, and started asking a much bigger question.
And this is just fantastic. So the problem was that Singapore was a tiny island nation with 0 natural resources. The obvious stone path was just to be an agriculture-based economy like all its neighbors. But
Lee Kuan Yew's straw insight was to reject that model completely. He saw a future built on high-tech and finance, and then, this is the truly audacious part, he took the action of reskilling his entire population to make that vision a reality.
So, after looking at everything from fables to historical giants, the whole framework ultimately turns right back around and points at us. It asks a very, very personal question. And here is the key takeaway, really. Finding your straw has nothing to do with your age or your background. It is 100% a mindset. It's about being open to learning, open to meeting new people, and open to gaining different experiences that can reveal a completely different path. So, you have to ask yourself this first. Are you actively looking for ways to grow and change, or are you just comfortable adding more stones to the same old pot? See, this framework really pushes us to think bigger. It asks us to define our own destination, not just follow the map that someone else drew for us.
And that leaves us with the final and most important question. So forget about the next small step for a moment. Look around you, right now. What is the tool, the idea, the conversation, the opportunity that could change everything? What is your next straw?